to the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production, the NFL Bet Exchange, hosted by my man, Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and the Don of Cape Cod, Jeff Dawson.
Welcome to the NFL Bet Exchange, hosted by the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper.
And Jeff Dawson, the CEO, founder of East Coast Sports Investors, the Don of Cape Cod.
All right, and we are here now talking about Week 6 in the NFL. Am I correct, Jeff? Week 6 now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We are blowing through the weeks right now. We're already in the second week of October as well, too, the moodiest month of the season. And Sunday showed us a whole lot of dogs was out barking Sunday, Jeff. So pretty much, man, what are your thoughts going into this week? Last week, I wound up going 6-7 last week. You wound up going 4-9. What are your thoughts about these last few weeks and everything?
As we discussed before we started recording, 3 weeks ago we go 12-4, and the last 2 weeks have not been good. I think what's happening now is with COVID, with injuries. The market on Monday and Tuesday is a lot different than the market is on Saturday and Sunday as it gets closer to kickoff time. In our business, we always like to strive to get that early number where we see there's value. Now it's almost like a sit and wait. Who's out, who's not out, who's got COVID, who doesn't have COVID. The big name dogs last week, Vegas coming into KC and beating them, and the Dolphins just waxing the 49ers. And this happens every week, but it's really been highlighted, it seems, the last couple weeks. So it's any given Sunday, as we know. So we're just trying to sharpen the pencil, follow the market, and then try to release what we feel is best value for the clients and customers.
All right. And so it's a new week. It's new money. Let's go ahead and jump into it right away. And we get to actually skip the Thursday night football game this week, kind of in a sense, thank goodness. But, pretty much because that Thursday game, if I'm a coach player, that's always the toughest game of the week. Can I even have my energy up for it? Because it's 3.5 days after maybe us having a brutal game against some division rival. But all in all, though, we start the week off on Sunday. We do have a game, they have the Tuesday game, but that's a part of Week 5 to close out that week. So let's go ahead. Where I always get started at in the conference games and our first divisional games. I'm so sorry. Where we get started with these divisional games, and we're going to go to the AFC East, as we always do. They have a game first, and that's going to be a good one too, Jeff, this week. We have the Dolphins coming in, winners of their last 2 out of 3 games. And then you have the Jets winless on the season. And the Jets, I'm just going to throw this out here. The Jets are playing some pretty bad football right now. And the Jets actually have been outscored 161-75 to start the season. That is absolutely embarrassing, in my opinion. And there's no signs of their starting – I don't know if their starting quarterback's going to be back in this week. But I know that there's the turmoil is starting to really churn very, very, very high right now in that Jets camp. And the Jets need something. But now we're in Week 5. Guys know each other a little bit better. But I love the way Miami has just latched on to Brian Flores' type of attitude, and they just ran with it. And their 2 wins have been blowouts against 2 very below-average teams in a sense as well, too. Not the 49ers, but the 49ers are just absolutely dreadful at home right now. They're 0-3. And so pretty much my thing is here, I think the Dolphins ride that hot hand, get their first back-to-back victory of the season. I'm taking them with the -8. I think they win this game by 10 or better. It's just really tough right now with the Jets. I think they need a coaching change, and they need it very quickly.
I mean, I have to agree with everything that you said there. Vegas opened it up at 8, still at 8. Juice towards the Jets, which shows us maybe the next move will go to 7.5. Under over was 47 and a hook. So the first thought process is 27-20, 28-20, somewhere in that ballpark. Divisional rivalry, the Jets just can't be any worse. Miami, big high. With the win at the Niners, just on principle, I'll take the Jets plus the 8. Hope they keep it within a touchdown, but it's something that I would honestly advise most players to stay away.
And there it is. good old division rivalry game. And you know what? It's always a tricky situation with the Dolphins. I know that I'm walking into a room. I know I'm walking on a landmine field as well too, Jeff, dealing with the Dolphins in New York. We all know they've came in there as heavy favorites and then walked out losing by 20 points. So, I know I'm taking the risk, but I think there will be a reward at the end of that. All right, we move on to the oldest rivalry in the American Football Conference, really, and it's like the third, fourth oldest rivalry in the NFL. These boys been going at it since the 50s, and that's the Browns and the Steelers. At one point, the Browns used to be the dominant part of the series. Now it's been up to the Steelers over the last 30 years. So pretty much this is a rivalry where both these teams absolutely hate each other. There is no in between the Browns and the Steelers, okay? I know the Steelers have been able to manhandle them literally since the comeback in 99, but still, the Browns fans, the Browns organization still see this as a top-notch rivalry, and they know that this is how they can measure a season as well, too. This is the difference of getting in the playoffs and not making it to the playoffs this season. They got to get it one win at least against the Steelers this year. I really do like the way this Browns team is moving right now. Stefanski, I can't say it enough. They were our dog better the week last week. They took care of business on that end for us as well, too. Got a huge win against what they considered the best defense in the NFL last week as well, too, and even showed their defensive prowess as well, too, with backup. So the Browns are buying into the culture of winning right now. And you can see it out there on the field. And I think that it's going to translate into this week as well, too, because they played two very tough matchups to get them prepared for the Steelers as well, too, Jeff. And once again, they're playing at home, the same place where they blew away the Steelers last season on a Thursday night football game. I love the Browns in the spot. Give me the Browns to plus 3.5.
Great points. You got a team that's a year where they were supposed to be last year. And as you said, they're buying in. It seems like everything's clicking. OBJ now finding his way into the offense. They didn't miss a beat without Chubbs last week. Line opened at 4, currently at 3.5, under over a 51. We're going to go the other side here. What we're going to suggest to everyone listening is we're going to buy the hook. We're going to take the Steelers minus the 3. Home cooking for Ben. Deontay Johnson out last week, and then in comes Claypool for 4 touchdowns. I like what Pittsburgh's doing. I just think the defense needs to pick it up a notch. The minus 188 money line, a little too steep for us to release. So we're going Steelers minus the 3, minus the hook, and hope they win by 4 or more.
And Jeff, and to everybody, I know when you guys watch the show, when it premieres this week, well, it'll still be early. It won't even be close to Sunday yet. But I expect that money line to go down, Jeff. Because the Browns backers, they love to show up about Friday, Saturday, and especially Sunday morning as well too. So we'll see how it goes. And pretty much I think that will trim down to at least minus 160 by the time we get to the kickoff. But all in all, if the Steelers are playing the type of football to where you can trust them with the spread. So I get exactly where you're going, Jeff, but we know that this game can and will probably come down to the final possession because that's what it's building up to be. All right, so we move on and we have ourselves another pretty good matchup in the AFC, and that's going to be between the Texans and the Titans. I know that this is a little early because the Titans, the spread is really not set, but it was at 3.5 to the Titans. They had to go ahead and do that. They had to give us something to talk about. But I honestly think this will be the Texans' second win of the season, but I will take the spread as the insurance. I'm saying this because Romeo Crennel is a different breed. You know, Bill O'Brien, they're all from the same school of coaching, but we know that Romeo's an OG of that school. You know, he's a part of the first class of Parcells, of the Parcells group when they struggled. So he's been in and out, he's been around this league. And Romeo Crennel, believe it or not, has made an impact pretty much everywhere he's been at, even in a good or in a bad way. You know what I mean? But he's always been a consistent coach. And I think that the new voice was all the Texans needed. Bill O'Brien's voice got tiring. And then when you have your best player, J.J. Watt, come out and question your coaching, that's when the front office says enough is enough. Because we know that J.J. is Captain America. He's an office guy. He's going to always respect the coach and respect the authority. But if he's questioning you, oh, you got to go. So now they got a new voice in there, and he's still keeping them motivated. And you can tell that was a great effort that they put up against Jacksonville. They probably would have laid down if Bill O'Brien was still the coach, but they didn't. They made the adjustments. They got themselves a very good victory. I think they double back this week, Jeff. They go ahead and they actually will cover your plus 3.5, but I have them winning here as well too. So I guess I got to sneak peek it real quick, but they'll be making the dog pick for it this week.
I agree, again, with everything that you're saying. Big Deshaun Watson fan. I think a lot predicates to what happens tonight with, or Tuesday night, I should say, with Tennessee and Buffalo. If they're coming off a win or if they're coming off a loss, do they get the bounce back? You could see the world of the weight of the shoulders off of Deshaun, even though, again, that O-line really needs to help that kid out a little. But I'm with you. I'm taking the plus 3.5 here. I like to see them bouncing back. They get a little more pep in their step. Now they take it on the road. I think it'll be a close game, though. They'll have to slow down Henry, of course. But I, too, at ECSI have the Texans plus the 3.5 on this side.
All right, let's rock. Let's roll. We move on now. We got NC divisional games. And we only have one divisional game that's not a specialty national game or anything of that nature. So we'll get to the Rams and 49ers a little bit later in the show, but we will talk about the Washington football team and the New York football Giants. Boy, oh boy, sounds like a game from 1932 right now. Seriously. Like, I'm just waiting for somebody to talk about, quarter hot dogs at the Polo Grounds. I don't know. What you call it? Something, man. So pretty much this is a huge game in the division because in this division, one win will have you – one win, you're okay. The Cowboys right now 2-3. Then you have Philly who's 1-3-1, and then you have the Redskins who are 1-4, and then you have the Giants who are winless. So pretty much they don't have a winning team in this division. So this is a huge game. In a sense, early in the year, we all know it's just another divisional game, but still, in a sense, though, you can dream. You can dream just a little bit, Jeff. But what I see here is I think Alex Smith is going to have a revival game here, and I think honestly, the WFT is going to be good for this one. This is the week where the Giants are finally the favorite. When bad teams finally become favorites, I really, really love to bet against them. And they gave them a good number 2 this week, Jeff. So, Washington football team, you played against some pretty good teams over the last few weeks. The Rams were a good matchup for you guys to kind of wage yourself a little bit. Even though they blew them away, they still played decent in the first half. Alex Smith is going to have a different look, in my opinion, in this game. He's not going to get as good as a defense as the Rams defense. He doesn't have to worry about Aaron Donald on Sunday. So I like Washington football team to cover in this game plus 3.5, and I got them winning. So you can add them to the dog pick 4 as well too, Jeff.
The line opened at 2.5, currently at 3. Juice to Washington minus 121. The under-over was 44 and a hook, so they're almost setting you up for that 24-21 game. It's real close. I agree with you in this perspective. If they wanted Redskin money, this line would have opened up Giants minus 4, Giants minus 3.5. But they opened it at 2.5 almost as a teaser, knowing the public would move it to 3.5. I'm with you here. We have Washington plus the 3 and a hook. We bought the hook here. I, too, think Washington actually could steal this one here. They opened at plus 135 in the money line, currently plus 132. We'll say this also. If the Giants do lose, Washington now will also own the tiebreaker. I we know they're playing again, but the tanking for Trevor will get a little louder as well. But we also again, ECSI on Washington plus 3.5 here. If you wait long enough, you won't have to buy the hook. I think the public will push it right there for you.
And there it is. That's going to be one of the probably most bet games of the weekend too, Jeff, just because it's the NFC East and people are going to feel like they shocked in that spot. So with that, we will be right back. This is the NFL Bet Exchange.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange. The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
Austin here, EastCoastSportsInvestors.com. Welcome you to the website. You're this close. Why not finish the deal and join our team? We're offering 2 great back to the basics and VIP packages for the rest of 2020. You can come on board to our very own app and bet work, we call it, for as low as 99 cents a day, $29.99 a month, or for the rest of 2020 for just $90. That's a savings of $30 and 1 free month. Or join our VIP membership, which gets you direct emails and texts to your cell phone on a daily basis. Our breakdowns, our do's and don'ts, why we are releasing this game, and what to be expected for those games and the upcoming future. So come on board, click the link, or follow us at EC Sports Invest on the Twitter. We will follow you back and answer any questions there, or also send us an email at eastcoastsportsinvestors@gmail.com. Look forward to joining our team and seeing you soon at the Winner's Circle.
All right, we are back with the NFL Bet Exchange with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, and my man on the East Coast, the Don of Cape Cod, Jeff Dawson. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. We got ourselves our conference games now, Jeff. Bengals Colts. And as we called out last week with them, that we would have the type of game where it would be the awakening for the Bengals in a sense. And that exactly happened, 27-3. Thank you, Ravens, for covering that monster spread, because I probably wouldn't have bet them for the rest of the season if they wasn't able to cover that 13. But that was the game that they needed to kind of bounce back and get back to being a dominant team. And that was kind of the game that Joe Burrow needed to learn that NFL is hard. It's not going to be LSU and the SEC every week, okay? It's going to be a challenge. And you ran into the landlord of the division as of now. So what I look at, I say to myself, well, when you have the awakening, that usually means that now the regression begins. And the coach should be coming in here fired up after losing that game against the Browns. They made so many mistakes in that game to where they literally pretty much handed the Browns the game in a sense as well too, Jeff. So when you look at it, you say, okay, Phillip Rivers, I don't know. But when I look at and see that running back, that stud running back from Wisconsin, I said to myself, they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine because that's going to be the person that's going to lead the way. They just need Rivers to manage. Rivers was close to helping them win that game. But as long as their defense is on point and the running game is chewing up the clock, they just need Phillip Rivers to do the simple things. And I really do feel like they will bounce back and bounce back big. I hate that fact that it has to be the Bengals this week. I'm not a Bengals fan or anything, but I do like their effort week in and week out. But this week they're going to get blasted again. I got the Colts win this game by 10 or better, Jeff.
That line opened at 7.5, went straight to 8, but that was the public. 60% of the bets, 86% of the money, all on Cincinnati. Yet the line went from 7.5 to 8, showing us reverse line movement on the Colts. Under/over opened at 46, now 46.5. Public is always betting the over there. I'm right with you, Pops. I think the Ravens' defense was stellar, and the Colts with a chip on their shoulder after laying an egg in Cleveland last week. Look for a big bounce back. I look for double-digit win here as well with the Colts. ECSI with the Colts minus the 8.
And there it is. And now we get to talk about a game we talked about last week, Jeff. Patriots and the Broncos. Take two. Now, we were supposed to play the game last night, but what had happened, though, the NFL decided to say, okay, we're going to make both these teams take the week off as well, too. So your bye week starts now, all right? And Denver that was good for Denver. Denver needed an extra week to kind of get healthier, and now they got decisions to make. Are they going to go back to the starter lock in this next game, or will they say, you know what, Rippon got us to win, why don't we go back to him? Rippon was able to play against a Jets team, like I've already said, that's giving up 33 points a game. So pretty much he looked good against them, but that doesn't mean he's going to look good against a bulletproof defense like the Patriots. And the Patriots are showing that the defense is their calling card this season. So this is going to be a good, tough game. But you know what? The Broncos are just sneaky, Jeff. They're sneaky. I won't say sneaky good. They're just sneaky. You know what I mean? And we can ask the Steelers that. They wouldn't go away. It's a type of team they don't want to go away. So I like the plus 9.5. Hopefully it'll jump up to 10.5 by Sunday, and I'll take that number as well too. But I think they lose by a touchdown or less. They'll perform a little bit better than the Raiders because they've had a little bit more time to watch more tape. And Cam coming back from the COVID and everything, he's not going to be all the way top tier until about another week or two, in my opinion. So I'm taking the plus 9.5 on the Broncos. Jeff, what are you thinking?
We talked last week about it. I'm going to stay the same path that we did. Disappointing loss for the Pats 2 weeks ago in Kansas City. Now the COVID, Cam Gilmore, and I think a practice player. Bill's pretty PO'd. They shut down the facility last weekend on his own, and now they're back in there. When Vegas opens up that line at 9.5, it's there for a reason. They're fully expecting Cam to play. We expect Cam to play. We look for a big bounce back effort. We are backing the Patriots minus the 9 or 9.5, whatever you can buy in. We are also using the Patriots in our survivor or suicides pool to move on as well. So Pats minus 9, 9.5, whatever you get, should win by double digits or more.
And you talking about survivor pools is crazy. I told everybody on the PT Angles on Sunday, I said, if you need a knockout play, take the Raiders. And I said, and everybody was like looking at me crazy because I said that, probably 2 people took the Raiders. So then you can knock out – so many people got knocked out last week. And the Bucs were a knockout play. I know the Bucs were a big play that knocked a lot of people out as well too. So, pretty much – that's what they set that up for. It's just like horse racing. We'll get you back 5-1 if Arrogant wins this race. Arrogant lost the race. And this is coming back off the Dubai race where he's supposed to be the ultimate, most the biggest prize in racehorse in history, the biggest earner ever, goes out there and finishes 4th. So and you have the company behind making sure you make some money off the day, all that good stuff. And then he does that to you. So that's why I say don't always fall in love with these front runners, man. All right, so move on, Jeff. We move on to the NFC. We got the Falcons at the Vikings. Falcons, wow. I told you a week ago, Jeff, that Quinn would probably be on the hot seat, and it had just got turned up about 20 more degrees, and that if they didn't get a win soon, that it will probably be his job. Well, Arthur Blank went ahead and decided after the game, a few hours, he was going to wait till Tuesday, but he couldn't wait. He said, go get that paperwork ready. He fired the GM and Quinn. So pretty much he's moving all the way along. Even though Thomas Dimitri did a hell of a job putting that team together, Dan Quinn did a great job of, being a consistent coach with them for a while. But he caught the same fate as the coach prior to him, Mike Smith. Same exact situation. Is it you or is it the organization? What's going on? And I know that's always kind of been the case with Atlanta a little bit, where the players have a relationship with the owner, and a better relationship with the owner than they do the coach. So they know. So the owner knows when something's not going right in the locker room. It's the same cowboy effect as well. It's just like the Cowboys, So pretty much they made this decision because I already know Quinn lost the locker room, and Dimitri lost the respect of the front office. So pretty much they are a brand new team and a brand new idea. You know what I mean? And Raheem Morris is a good coach to fill in for this. He's still young, and he has coaching experience as well too from his time in Tampa Bay when he took over after Gruden. And you got to remember, he had to coach Josh Freeman, a guy that kind of quit early in his career. So pretty much, Raheem did a decent job. He just didn't get enough time. So I think now he's going to try to impress upon to the Falcons that he could be their man, or try to get himself a better look, make some more money at the next job. But, Raheem Morris is rehearsing for next season as well, too. And he doesn't like to lose. And when he took over the defense full time last year, it became one of the better defenses at the end of the season. I'm thinking to myself, Raheem's going to take over, and the team's going to be motivated just like how the Texans just been motivated. I feel like the Falcons are going to go ahead and at least cover in this game. So I'm going to take them with the +3.5. The Vikings, I just don't know. They're a wishy-washy team. They're coming off a great effort against Seattle, but I think they're going to be a little bit banged up coming into this one because that was a very physical and tough game for them. Jeff, what do you think?
I agree with what you're saying, and it sounds like Dalvin Cook will be out, but Matson will just come right in, step right in. Line opened at 3.5, currently at 3, and that's with 65% of the bets and 90% of the money all on Minnesota. So already reverse line movement, sharp, heavy action on the Falcons. The money line for them opened at +155, currently at 155. What we call is a line freeze here at ECSI. That's with 57% of the bets and 69% of the money on Minnesota to win the game outright. So I'm with you here, Pops. I love the Falcons plus the 3.5, and I suggest to all the listeners maybe to sprinkle a little pizza and beer money on the Falcons plus 155 on the money line, as they potentially could get their first win of the season.
All right, so there it is. There it is. Hopefully we can get a first win of the season. Atlanta, you've let me down too. I'm telling you, boy, I was over here speaking so highly of you guys. You know what I mean? It's just like that disappointing nephew. Like you went to Harvard and you just flunked out, man. What happened? We invested all that money in you. But we move on, and we got a good one here. Bears at the Panthers. And Bears at the Panthers, this is going to be a good one because you got a team in the Bears 4-1 right now. And then you got the Panthers, winners of their 3 games in a row as well, too. And Jimmy and Teddy B, I would keep saying Jimmy, but Teddy B is very, very aware of how to gauge the NFC North. And this really works in the favor of the Panthers. They're a hot team. They got a good coach, Matt Rule, and when Matt Rule starts figuring out ways to win, then it gets very consistent. He's showing that he's making a great transition from Baylor to the NFL. It would, that was smart of him to wait maybe another year, go to a bigger program, a program that's more football-based, so then he could get the overall polish that he needed to become an NFL head coach, because he had NFL head coach written all over him once the day that you saw that he had Temple playing above and beyond of what they ever been. So pretty much you can trust Matt Rule. And I know a lot of us just pretty much threw away the Panthers early in the season. Shame on us. We shouldn't have done that because we knew And like I said to you before, Teddy Bridgewater could make the difference. And if he does, the Panthers team is not going to go away quietly. And pretty much Teddy's taking over. Everybody thought it was going to be a big problem not having McCaffrey there. But actually, they became a better team without McCaffrey taking up 70-80% of, the ball. Even though he's getting the stats and everything that's needed, sometimes stats is the most overrated subject in all of sports. If you're getting the big stats but you're still losing the game, it don't really matter. But all in all, my answer to this question this week, I know the Bears are playing good football, but the offense is so stagnant to me, and this is the perfect game for the Panthers to kind of show off their defense a little bit. That's been very, very good over the last 3 weeks as well, too. And I think that just the momentum in itself is in the Panthers' favor. I think that they win this one. I got the -2.5 on the Panthers, but I think they win by way more than that too, Jeff. I think they win by 10 or better, to be dead honest with you. But there it is. I'm on the Panthers -2.5.
Two teams. I hats off to Rule. I thought this would be definitely a year where they would not win many games. And, of course, credit to them, the coaching staff, and Teddy Bridgewater, a winner, knows how to win, was a winner in college, winner with the Saints when they asked upon him, was going to have a big career with Minnesota before the injury. Now he comes over to Carolina, and that's all he's doing is winning. And that's without CMC, who might be back this week. They're not sure. But a good spot for them because the Bears coming off the big win as well with the field goal and beating the Bucs. Opened at 2.5, currently at 3, but that's with 49% of the bets and 75% of the money all on the Bears. So we're showing reverse line movement on Carolina. Their money line went from 145 to 150 as well, and that's with only 31% of the money. So sharps are playing not just Carolina to win the game, with the money line, but also the spread. So I'd have all the listeners here shop around. Don't like giving out -150 money lines, but you can get the probably 2.5 right now at around -120. So we also are on Carolina minus the 2.5.
And there it is. And we got plenty more football to talk about when we get back from this quick commercial break. This is the NFL Bet Exchange.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange. The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
Austin here, EastCoastSportsInvestors.com. Welcome you to the website. You're this close. Why not finish the deal? We're offering 2 great back to the basics and VIP packages for the rest of 2020. You can come on board to our very own app and bet work, we call it, for as low as 99 cents a day, $9 a month, or for the rest of 2020 for just $90. And that's a savings of $30 and 1 free month. Or join our VIP membership, which gets you direct emails and texts to your cell phone on a daily basis. Our breakdowns, our do's and don'ts, why we are releasing this game, and what to be expected for those games and the upcoming future. So come on board, click the link, or follow us at EC Sports Invest on the Twitter. We will follow you back and answer any questions there, or also send us an email at eastcoastsportsinvestors@gmail.com. Look forward to joining our team and seeing you soon at the Winner's Circle.
Welcome back to the NFL Bet Exchange with your host, the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper. And I'm with the Don and Cape Cod, Jeff Dawg. Two pro bettors just trying to get you guys some money. But stack those bankrolls up so then you guys can be big Santa, big OG Santa out there. You already know. Prime clause. It's almost that season. So here we are. We got ourselves. Let's see where we're at now. We are in our interconference games now, Jeff. And with our interconference games, we're going to start off with a doozy here. Ravens at the Eagles. This should be a good one, Jeff. You got Carson Wentz over here in another prove that you're worth the game. And then you have Lamar Jackson going against a team that's pretty skillful and that could loom the danger against the Ravens team that, you know, if they go down early, they might not be back in the game with you. So that's something that the Eagles have to, you know, really work on this week to try to strike first against this Ravens team because, you know, the kid just doesn't like playing from behind. It's just that simple. And I think this week the Eagles bounce back big time because they were right there with the Steelers, like right there with the Steelers. And the Steelers got one of the better defenses in the league, and they still dropped 29 on them. Even had a big 80-yard touchdown as well, too, off the run. So this is something that they can use as motivation into this week. They're back at home as well, too. They're going against a Ravens team that didn't play against really a big challenge or anything like that last week. And usually when you come out of a game like that, to me, you're vulnerable, especially against a desperate team like the Eagles as well, too. So, all in all, I'm pretty much letting you guys know exactly where I'm going with this. I'm taking the Eagles to cover in this game, plus 7.5. I think they're good for it, Jeff. What you thinking?
I have to look at that opening number. It was 7. You know, it's kind of one of those numbers that you don't see the Eagles getting a touchdown or more at home to start when before the week goes. Usually you look for that number around 4 or 5 and have the public grab the Ravens and move that to 7. So initially I take that into consideration where the 7 is they're looking for Eagle money, and it backfired. The Eagles got it's now 8, and that's with 70% of the bets, 61% of the money all on Baltimore. The over-under opened at 47 and a hook. So, again, that 28-20 game, 27-21 game. You nailed it perfect where, listen, if Wentz and the boys get out early 10-0, 13-0, we've talked about it. I got to feel that the Ravens and the defense will put a lot of pressure on Wentz. Their O-line is struggling. Excuse me. I look for the Ravens to pound the rock, and I look for Hollywood Brown to score early and often. So we're going to lean Ravens here, even though it's a big number, but we're taking the Ravens here minus the 7, 7.5, 8, whatever you get it. Kickoff. Look for Lamar and them to flex their muscles and keep on rolling.
All right. So we move on, and our next game up is going to be a good one. You know why it's going to be a good one, Jeff? You know why? Because it's going to be the good news only Racing Club Dog of the Week. Oh, boy. Good news only. Win the day every day. Man, I'm telling you, man, boy. And we did win the day yesterday, too, Jeff, to start the day with the horse by the name of Plum Sexy. Boy, 20-1 first-timer. First race of the day at Santa Anita, could have walked out of that bad boy after hitting that one. And the horse won like a champ as well, too. So, yeah, be on the lookout for Plum Sexy. We might catch that horse at the Breeders' Cup. All right, so good news. So our dog of the week, and it's simple, Jeff. This is between the Lions and the Jaguars. You say, who's the dog here, though? Who's the barker here? Of course it's going to be the Jaguars. And you know why I'm taking the Jaguars? Because I believe in God. Minshew. Mr. Minshew. You know what? He would be a dream for Bill Belichick right now. That would be Bill's guy. You know, to me, I'm like, this is like putting Tom Brady on the Jags. You know what I mean? Guy can play so good. You can tell that he's very, very meticulous. You can tell that he prepares himself very well for each game. It's just a travesty that this guy got to play for Jacksonville. Seriously, he's a really good quarterback, and I think he shines against Matt Stafford on Sunday at home. and they get themselves a good win. I like them with the plus 160, Jeff. I love them with the plus 160. And to top it off, we are on a 3-game winning streak as well, too. So, we're 4-1 on the at the week. So, y'all better keep jumping all over it because we are taking care of business. I'm telling you. So, pretty much there it is. I'm taking the plus 160 on the Jags. I think that after last week's game, they get to get back at home. And Detroit's going to come in here thinking that they are, going against some guys that are going to lay down and forget that they don't have a great record either. And I know they're coming off the bye and everything like that, but I just think Jacksonville knows this is a winnable game, so they'll be in this one, Jeff. You know what I mean? Because sometimes teams just know. They know when they get on the field that could they win this game or not. And this is one of them games where they already thinking to themselves, this could be our second win of the season. This should be our second win of the season. So let's make it the second win of the season. Plus 160 money line. Jags.
I have to look at the opening number. Detroit was favored -1.5. It's got pushed to 3. It reminds me of 2 weeks ago when Indy went into Chicago, opened up -1.5 point favorites, closed at 3-point favorites. I got to lean with Vegas knowing what's up here. Detroit every game's a must-win for them, and they're one of the classic teams that find a way to lose late like the Chargers. But I'm going with that opening number. So ECSI lean in here with Detroit. Shop around, see if you can get them around -2.5 by kickoff. Look for Stafford and the boys to bounce back. I like your angle. I like everything about it. It just smells fishy to us, and we're really fickle when it comes to opening numbers, and Vegas had them as a favorite. We're going to lean to that, and Lions -2.5 is our pick on this game, Pops.
All right. So, hey, I'm going to tell y'all like this. If y'all don't get Jeff some deep dish Detroit pizza or something, or a Coney or a Detroit-style chili dog or something like that, I want you Detroit, Michigan folks, because every week he rocking with y'all. Seriously. I ain't seen nobody this committed to the Lions since William Henry.
Scott Mitchell and Herman Moore.
Yeah, Herman Moore. Go get Brett Perryman. Yeah, baby. Yeah. David Sloan. You already know what it is, man. Rodney Peete. Andre Ware. We go ways back with the ET. That's the funny thing about the Lions. You can always talk about those 90s Lions players because they were so significant because their guy had them on TV at least once a month. You know what I mean? So pretty much, and everybody was always had an eye on Detroit to see if Gary would be breaking some big run or something like that. Oh man, I miss that the running back's not the star pupil of the NFL anymore. Quarterback used to just be the manager guy. They got the leader of the team, but the superstar was the running back. And wide receivers, you and quarterbacks were just literally the same thing. You just play offense, they play defense. You had to be special like Darryl Green and Jerry Rice. Now we got these guys, they just go out there and catch with one hand, they're going to hand them $100 million. All right, so we move on, and we got ourselves a good one. And this one actually is actually a conference game, but it's later in the day and it's a big game. So I wanted to save it for later in the program as well too, Jeff. And this is going to be the Packers and the Bucks. It's a marquee matchup, Jeff. Of course, we got to talk about it a little bit later, even though it should have been talked about a little bit earlier. But, man, this is a good game, Jeff. I really like what we have here. I think we have ourselves a preview of a possible playoff matchup, say in the division between the Packers and the Bucks. And this is a good barometer for the Bucks to see how they measure up against this very dominant Packers team. Aaron Rodgers his confidence level is on 100 right now, and that's why they're doing so well. When Aaron's really confident and feeling himself and feeling and winning, that he's the toughest quarterback in the league. But when you got him up here, searching for receivers and going back and forth with the coaches about play calls, things of that nature, then we have this, you have a guy who's not very interested. But he still kills, though. He still balls. Like you said, my bad years are some guys' career years, and that's why they pay him the big dollars. But all in all, though, I think Tom Brady is going to be very adamant about winning this game because it's against Rodgers. They compare those two a lot, and most have said that Rodgers is the better quarterback, but, Brady's the better winner. And so Brady wants to keep his stat alive, and that's winning. And I feel like the Bucs can win this game and probably will win this game because they'll be back at home, a place they haven't lost at yet. And they play much better at it as well, too. Even though they almost let slip against the Chargers, it didn't matter. They still won the game. So pretty much I love the plus 2.5 on the Bucs. I think that they take care of their business or they lose close. It's that simple, Jeff. What are you thinking?
Again, we look at that opening number. We had Tampa Bay opening up minus 2.5, and currently we're looking at Green Bay now minus 1.5. The bet, 74% of the bets and 91% of the money all on Rodgers and Green Bay. Vegas is telling me very simply, hey, how do we get Packer and Rodgers money? Well, what do? We open up Tampa Bay minus 2.5, and boom, they got their Green Bay Packer money. ECSI here, we're not even going to bother with the points. We're taking the Bucs plus the 110 money line. We look for Tom TB12 to bounce back. They had the extra time off from that Thursday night debacle in Chicago, and we look for Brady to outduel Rodgers and give them their first loss.
There it is. So Jeff said, I'm being bold. Let me take that little money line. Let me take that little dog. Let me go get that Chihuahua real quick. Let me go get that little Yorkshire Terrier real fast. So that's a good play, though. It is a Yorkshire Terrier, though. You know that, right? Cute and compact, can put in the car, usually does the job, but we'll see how it goes. So we move on. And Sunday night football, we got ourselves the O on the West Coast when it comes to professional football. And it got reunited 4 years ago when the Rams decided to come back home to Los Angeles. And that's going to be the 49ers and the Rams. So we got the San Francisco versus LA, always fun in any sport, right, Jeff? Always fun, always a rival, always compared, always going back and forth. But this one is probably the most serious one other than Dodgers-Giants, Jeff, to be honest with you, because Warriors-Lakers is one-sided, regardless of what anybody thinks. Warriors, we all know it's one-sided. The Lakers have dominated that thing the whole time pretty much. So with this, we got ourselves probably the game of the year for the 49ers in a sense to where are they going to be a playoff team this year or are they just going to be middle? That's my question. What do these 49ers want to be? But I didn't believe in them like that from Jump Street anyway, Jeff, to be that honest with you. Even though I did give them a glowing little, expectations and things like that, the more and more I thought about it, the more and more I said, this team really needs preseason. Like, they're a team that thrives off of great preseasons and taking it into the regular season. I've noticed that with the 49ers. They need those practices, and they just don't have them right now. And their key issue right now is home games. They can't win at home. They got 2 road wins, 3 home losses, 2-3. And we could say, yeah, they played against tough teams at home, but Minnesota came into the game. Philadelphia came into the game winless. Cards came into the game as a 6.5-point dog. Nobody was expecting them to win the game. And then you have the backbreaker of them all. You have the Miami Dolphins literally come in there and drop 30 on you in the first half. And it's bye-bye, game time. Jimmy G go hit the bench. So the Niners have a lot of questions right now, Jeff. And are they going to be a middling team, a mediocre team, or are they going to get this thing back together? I don't know if Kyle Shanahan is capable of not getting off to a good start and coming back from that. I think he has to start off. They have to break well, because if they don't, then they're in trouble. Right now I'm looking at a 7-9 team, Jeff, 6-10 at worst. Be that honest with you, if they can't step it up in this game right here. But the Rams, we'll talk about the Rams too in the Super Bowl, in the updated Super Bowl odds. The Rams have became a nice little treat for everybody weekly. They one loss, even in that one loss, they still help people make money because if you bet them live, you know that it was a crazy live bet for them to cover. So pretty much the Rams are the toughest team that the Niners have won against all season. And they're going to be the measuring stick to see if the Niners are really legit and really going to be moving forward to even try to, defend their NFC crown. So in this game, though, I'll be dead honest with you. The Rams are just playing very good up under the radar. McVay has gotten back into his bag as one of the best play callers in the NFL. This is not a hard choice for me, Jeff. Give me the Rams with the 3.5 because the Rams have had their way. They won the last 2 out of 3 at Santa Clara as well, too. And, the last time they won there, it was ugly. And last year, they barely lost. So, pretty much, I love the Rams in this spot because they love beating up on the 49ers in Santa Clara. So, give me the Rams. Go Rams. Hook 'em horns.
I am two things here. Number one, open in line. Number two, the public always remembers what they saw last. What did they see? Jimmy G getting benched and Fitzmagic just going through that Swiss cheese defense. But yet Vegas opened up the Niners -3. And currently the Rams are now -3 and a hook. Okay? That's with 72% of the bets and 76% of the money. Everything you said is 1,000% correct, okay? But I go back at ECSI, what we do is we go back to the opening number, and then let's see what the sharps did, and then let's see what the public did. So for us at ECSI, this is as simple as it gets, okay? We will take San Fran plus the 3.5 very graciously, and we will tell all the listeners here to sprinkle some more pizza and beer money and take the 49ers plus the 158 money line. Whether it's Jimmy G, Triple G, or whoever it is, Steve Young, Joe Montana, they will bounce back and bounce back big this week. Niners plus 3.5 and plus the 158.
Yep, and I'm messing up too, Jeff. I said 3.5. But in my notes, it's going to show up on it's going to show up too correctly. It's actually going to be money line for me on the Rams as well too. Yeah, I'm spending a little bit of money on it, a little bit extra money on the insurance panel, and I know I'm going to get my $1.80, $1.75 by the time I get to kickoff as well too, Jeff, because there's going to be those Niner backers that love them in Vegas, flew to Vegas just to bet the $2,500 on them because they're playing the Rams and they hate the Rams. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it goes, but we got another money line competition going on this week, me and Jeff, but Jeff's with the dog this week. So I guess that would be Jeff's dog of the week right there. Well, Jeff got 2 of them. He got a few dogs this week. So Falcons and 49ers. Wow, Jeff over here coming over to the dark side, huh? I always like to mess with Jeff about that, but he knows Jeff is a strong strategic bettor. It's about the value of the play. It's about cashing the tickets. All right. So with that, we will be right back. This is the NFL Bet Exchange.
Drinkade, ready for distribution worldwide.
And welcome back. We are in the fourth quarter of the NFL Bet Exchange. Oh, boy, and we get 2 Monday Night Football games, Jeff. 2 of them. Deuce. All right, so the first one we have is going to be between the Chiefs, and they get to go to Orchard Park and go play against New York State's team. You know, the Jets and Giants are New York City's team, but the Bills are New York State's team. So they represent for Syracuse and all those other places that are all around New York, the state of New York. And I said that the Jets and Giants are both NYC's team. Let me take that back. Giants are Manhattan's team, and the Jets are Queens' team. And then you kind of spread them all out in the other boroughs a little bit, I guess. Right, Jeff?
Correct.
Right. Because I don't ever hear anybody from Brooklyn talk about the Giants today. I hear a lot of Brooklyn people rooting for the Raiders. Because, you know, Al Davis is from Brooklyn. So pretty much it makes sense. You know what I mean? And isn't the Citadel up there as well, too?
I'm not sure.
But that's where Al got the colors from. You know, that's a big influence on the colors. But let me go ahead and stick to the topic at hand. We have ourselves 2 Monday Night Football games. And pretty much we got Chiefs at Bills. Yes, plus 3.5 for the Bills in this spot. And this is the Bills' homecoming game, in my opinion, Jeff. This is the one where, are we for real? Is this Jim Kelly, Thermo, and Andre Reed, the sequel? We will see, because Stephon Diggs does play the part, but Stephon Diggs reminds me more of James Lofton in this spot, because James Lofton was a big time player coming from a Super Bowl squad. And, you know, but that's not Minnesota, but you get my point, Jeff. And pretty much this has been the difference, that he has a target to throw to in Stephon, who makes life so much easier for him, because John Brown, who's already a hell of a receiver, is picking up the slack of, you know, pretty much having those voids and those one-on-one matchups, and is making this guy a tremendous quarterback as we move forward. He gets better by the week. And then Devin Singletary and his work, just his gamemanship, is keeping the Buffalo Bills afloat as well, too. And that defense, Jeff, when it's time to cut it on, they're going to cut it on. You ask the Raiders that, because they could have easily let the Raiders come back in that game. Defense wasn't having that. They wasn't having that at all. They kept the pressure coming, and they made all the right plays at the right time. And when your defense is in a chemistry like the way the Buffalo Bills are right now, sky's the limit. Honestly, the Bills are the most motivated team in the NFL since after what happened to them in last year's playoffs. Because when you look at that game, the Bills should have won it four or five times. But they didn't. So they using this as their motivation tool to get back to the playoffs, but be successful in the playoffs as well, too, Jeff. I love the Bills in the spot. Give me the Bills with the plus 3.5. No offense to the Chiefs or anything like that, but I think this is the time of the year when the Chiefs slide, just like last season, Jeff. The same thing happened to them last year as well, too. They lost the game. Nobody saw them losing, and they lost another one the next week. So how are you feeling?
I feel the same way. Again, it's kind of tough not knowing the outcome of the Buffalo-Tennessee game. Both teams could be coming in with a loss, or if Buffalo does win as the favorite tonight in Tennessee, they'll be coming back home on a big Monday night stage, hosting the one-loss Kansas City Chiefs. And also, too, when it comes to seeding, again, the loss – if Buffalo can pick Kansas City off, they'll own that tiebreaker as well. I look for Buffalo here to handle the big stage. It'll probably end up being a shootout, but we too do like the Bills plus the 3.5 here. Look for them at home to be playing highly motivated, and I think Josh wants to show the world. I'm not comparing him to Patrick Mahomes, but if you want to take a guy that's come in and taken each step and making the progress that this kid is making, all the jokes are on him from Wyoming, no accuracy. Well, the kid is sure proving it. So we're on the Bills here at ECSI plus the 3.5 as well.
And Jalen Ramsey, his words now too. You said the guy stunk, but jokes on you, Jalen. Because you're about to get one big contract in the NFL. He's about to get 3.
Yep.
Yeah. But, Jalen Ramsey, that guy's a trip. Him and Golden Tate, man. I don't want to see those. Well, they won't be celebrating Thanksgiving together this year for sure. That's not happening. But you know what, though? This is my own little 2 cents about that. Golden Tate, mind your own business. This is between him and your sister. Has nothing to do with you. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and talk about this. Used to be the homecoming game for this team right here, too. The Cardinals, this used to be the Cardinals sellout game right here, Jeff, when they were the good old Phoenix Cardinals playing outside at Frank Kush Field. The Cowboys were their sellout game when they were in the NFC East. They used to be the funniest scheduling ever. How are you all? You have 4 East Coast teams, and they all have to fly at least one time a year to Arizona, and because y'all didn't fix the divisions. It took you 30 extra years to fix the divisions, you goofballs. What's wrong with you? And, well, Tampa Bay probably had it the worst playing in Florida than having to play in cold weather cities, for their first 25 years as well, too. So, that's the main reason why you have a bad Phoenix and a bad Tampa Bay errors, in a sense, when they were in those divisions. So, pretty much, let me get to the point, though. This is a classic series, though, Jeff. I like to talk about classic things like this because this was the setting of Monday Night Football, Cardinals versus the Cowboys. Rod Tidwell going for that contract. Too bad we don't have Dak here going for that contract. It's going to be the Andy Dalton story here. So, you know what? I like the Cowboys to bounce back big this week. I really do think that now the pressure has been alleviated off the coach. He had to make sure Dak looked good, Dak was doing this, and make sure that we customize things for Dak to be able to do well. Now you have yourself a game manager in Andy Dalton, a guy that's going to listen to you, a guy that's going to run the plays you want him to run. And you're giving Andy Dalton talented receivers as well, too. Do not sleep on the Cowboys. They might have just became a better team with the quarterback change. Dak's head hasn't been in it really hard. Dak's been getting great stats, but it seems like he's overthinking. You got Andy Dalton, who's getting his revenge shot, in a sense, on the NFL. I like the Cowboys to come out and win this game, Jeff. I got them at plus 2.5. But I think they go ahead and win it straight up. They'll probably be a big money line play for me. But I know at the end of the day, this will wind up being a pick 'em, Jeff. What are you thinking?
I agree, and it sounded like a broken record here, but Vegas knows. They opened up Dallas -3. The public just grabbed it and ran. No Prescott, no chance, and the public jumped in at 67% of the bets. Currently, Arizona now is -2.5. What we suggest to everyone here very simply is to buy the hook, grab the Cowboys plus the 3, and again, sprinkle in a little beer and pizza money and take those Cowboys plus the 120 as well. We like the Cowboys not just to cover the plus 3, but we like them also to win the game outright plus the 120.
There it is. There it is. That's a wrap this week as well, too. We get 2 Monday Night Football games. Oh, boy. But, all right, so the Super Bowl odds just came out, Jeff, that I saw, and I picked out 5 features that I would say are some good, strong bets, and I threw some more change on these ones as well, too. I'm going to start off first with the one that caught my eye, and this one right here, to all my people in West New York, y'all better go ahead and put a little bit of that Christmas money or whatever you was gonna get for yourself for a gift, put it on your bills 20-1. Be crazy. That's what just be silly. You know what I mean? No, don't be that silly. But put yourself a nice little wager, 20-1 on the Bills to win the Super Bowl. Ain't bad at all, Jeff. It is a very, very good looking bet, in my opinion. So I have that one right here as well too, 20-1. And then I talked about the Rams earlier. The Rams at 14-1 looking real attractive right now. So, yeah, I would jump all over that one as well, too, but it depends on how they finish up the season because they got to deal with Seattle. It's that simple. Seattle is right there, and we've been switching off who's the champ of the division, but Seattle's always consistent. They don't have to win the division because they always find a way to get into the playoffs. So they are going to be the big test for the Rams moving forward. And I really do think the Rams have a big shot because of the division that they're playing in and the way that they've been dominating games as of late as well, too. And then Ravens, of course, 5-1. I like the Ravens 5-1 to win the Super Bowl as well. They're still a Super Bowl winning team in a sense, but they're going to have to get those they're going to have to get those minor issues together to really, really be a team with a shot. And then I got number 2, the defending champs themselves, the Chiefs, 5-1. But Jeff, I just don't know. I just keep thinking that the Chiefs are going to have a hiccup when we get to the playoffs. I don't know. I got that feel. But they could possibly go to the Super Bowl. I got to pay to go to the Super Bowl this year as well, too. So pretty much I got them at 5-1, number 2. So the Ravens, Chiefs, they kind of even themselves out. They're both 5-1. But this is the number that intrigues me. Seattle's been bet down to a 9-2, Jeff. That's a plus 550 pretty much on each side. At the track, you win $11 off your 2. So pretty much that's why I'm saying it's 550 because that's pretty much what it is, 92. So 92 looks really good to me, Jeff, for a guy who's already won the Super Bowl before, and he's like just chomping at the bit to get back to that game, and is everything that you have to do to win these games during the season that makes you look good in the second season as well, too. And that's the Seahawks, man, 9-2, baby. I love it. So what do you think of those 5 teams right there, Jeff? Do you have any differences there?
Well, in August, ECSI gave out its Super Bowl preview, and the NFC, we tried to buck that one, not looking good there. We let's just say I won't release the team to this general audience here yet. Let's see if they can put a couple wins together. But our AFC dark horse and shocker is just living up to everything that we thought they were, and we got them in August at 24-1 to win the Super Bowl, and at around 14-1 to win the AFC, and that's the Steelers. And we also had them sneaking out that division, so we're happy where we are with them. As for Russell Wilson, I mean, there's nothing the guy hasn't done and can't do, and it did a lot tougher. It seems that it's the Rams this year that will give him the fight, not the Niners there. I agree with you with Buffalo. Again, a nice dark horse if you're trying to stay away from the chalk with the Chiefs and the Ravens, because as you were breaking this down, obviously those are the 2 that stick out in the AFC. We were with the Steelers, you're on with the Bills. The NFC right now, again, I think the Saints, something's going on with Breeze. Seattle is definitely the cream of the crop right now. And then who comes out? Who gets hot when they need to? Will Brady and the Bucs get hot? Quick little story here as we're wrapping this up here is the Tampa Bay Lightning. They won the Stanley Cup. The Rays are 3 wins, actually 2 wins away from getting to the World Series. They could be there. And how about old man Brady if he could limp that team who's hosting the Super Bowl? So a lot of football to go, a lot of COVID to get through. But I like where your head is there, Pops.
And Tampa Sports, did you guys envision yourself being like this 10 years ago? Wow, it's just amazing. Think about that. It was everything you just said. You got the hockey team balling, you got the baseball team balling, and the football team got a chance. So, hey, you got a fun little sports town going on. And unlike my stressful sports town, we just had to go through the Laker mess. Now it's on the Dodgers, and just always continue. So, pretty much, let's go ahead and get down to the nitty-gritty. We're in the 2-minute warning of the show. So let me go ahead and give you guys my DFS Sunday lineup. And there's a possibility a change is happening as well, too, because we got to get through the week, and we don't know who's going to be healthy, who's not going to be healthy. Guys be scratches on Friday. So just make sure there could be changes made by Sunday, okay? But at quarterback, I talked about him earlier. I'm going to have him pilot my dog of the week. As we Gardner Minshew, I feel like Gardner's going to have a huge week against the Lions. I expect it. So there it is. I'm taking Gardner Minshew as my starting quarterback. Then we're going to start Zeke at running back. Zeke's going to get about 25 to 30 carries this week. I know he is. They're going to make – Zeke is about to turn this back into – the Cowboys are about to turn this back into some old school football real quick. And they're going to have to really lean on Zeke hard to, pretty much get them through at the end of the day. And I think that he's up for the task, to be honest with you, Jeff. This is what he's been waiting for, to be that honest with you. So I'm taking Zeke. And then I got Ronald Jones, who played masterful last week against the Bears. They came up short, but he still played a hell of a game, Jeff. Honestly, we both know he did. And so pretty much I got Ronald Jones here. I think that he has a big week against the Packers. So let's see how that shakes out. And then I got a guy I think that's going to score 2 touchdowns on Sunday for the Dolphins. And that's going to be Devontae Parker. Man, that boy can ball. Louisville, he came into his own last season, had a big game last week against the 49ers. I expect him to do the same thing this week against the Jets, even better game this week against the Jets. He's starting this week as well too, Jeff. Then I got Robert Woods. A lot of people have been sleeping on Robert Woods, but he's actually Jared Goff's favorite deep threat, and he got himself a nice 59-yard touchdown last week. I had Cooper Kupp last week. But this week we're going to go to Robert Woods because they use Robert Woods for so much, Jeff. You know what I mean? The handoffs and short passes, screen passes, and he figures out ways to score touchdowns. So I'm taking Robert Woods this week as well, too. And I can't go without putting Calvin Riley in the lineup this week. I think that he's going to absolutely scorch on the Vikings. If you see the way that guy runs routes and catches the ball, man, his future is so bright. Atlanta better hold on to him because Julio's on his last legs, in my opinion. Julio's it's every season now with the injuries and things like that. So Julio only has so much more time left. So Riley is just taking over and, solidifying his spot, in my opinion. And it's going to continue this week. And then we got the old savvy vet, Emmy Graham, the basketball player. I'm going to have him at tight end this week. I think that he has a huge game this week as well, too. And then I'm going to take my boy from Temple, Robbie Anderson. I got him scoring a touchdown or two, or maybe a long reception as well, too, Jeff. I like it. Robbie Anderson should do well this week against the Bears because the matchup kind of calls for one-on-one situations and things like that. I think he'll win those matchups 7 out of 10 times. So I'm rocking with Robbie at the flex. And then on defense, we are going to go ahead and take the Dolphins. It's like literally anybody who's playing the Jets, that's who my defense is this week. All right, so Dolphins step it up, get us some turnovers, look good for us, and there it is. So that's my DFS Sunday lineup for this week, Jeff. And I like it. Last week we finished up 94-54 last week in total points, but we were about the leader won. The person won, I think, was 131. So what can you do? That would have beat a lot of people in other leagues, but not on FanDuel. Okay, FanDuel calls for you to be perfect. All right, so that's my DFS Sunday lineup this week, and that's where I'm rocking. Jeff, final thoughts?
Another week. To all the listeners here, I think what you really need to start doing is just paying more attention daily to who's hurt, who's not hurt, who's practicing, who's a game time decision. Same with the numbers that you're looking at. With COVID, we're not sure. You could wake up and then half a team's got it. The NFL's got it under lock and key, kinda. There's only been the Tennessee Titans, real big breakout there. A couple here with the Pats, a couple here and there. So if you want, follow us on Twitter at EC Sports Invest. We'll follow you right back, answer any questions that you might have. Check out our website at eastcoastsportsinvestors.com. Any emails, send us to eastcoastsportsinvestors@gmail.com. And you can follow us here on IG or Facebook at East Coast Sports Investors. Looking for a great week, a big bounce back here for ECSI.
All right, and there it is. And I'm looking to get myself back into the 500 group as well, too. But, it's just that time of the season, but we will be fine. But with all that, we will be back to you guys next week. This is the NFL Bet Exchange hosted by the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper.
and Jeff Dawson, the Don of Cape Cod, East Coast Sports Investors.
Jeff was like, are we wrapping up the show? Aren't you supposed to say my name at the end too? All right.
That was a big pause.
And that's what it is, man. So we got to get back to what we do. But all in all, though, there is no us without you. So make sure you guys keep tuning in. We keep breaking records. And I am done. Toodles.
Thank you for tuning in to the NFL Bet Exchange, where the sharpest bets are laid. This show was produced by the Prime Wave Media Group.